Hey everybody, I'm live as a John Hope Bryant pop call. I'm in Washington, D.C. fighting traffic. That's what I'm sitting in right now. And this is my man Vic, small business owner, and my dear friend. We're here in, hey Angela, we're in Washington, D.C. I'll be doing a series for my new book called The Master Class, and then later we'll be doing training on the Master Class for everybody who wants to get trained, as you can train in your own neighborhoods. Hey Greg Tyson from Charlotte, Angela, hey there, hey Vic, she says, hey Tiffany Greer from Memphis, O'Neill Lyons, Wichita, Sergio, Mr. POTUS, Sergio, I'm not running for president, but thank you very much. Ida Hood, hello. For some of you know, I was in Topeka, beautiful name. I was in, where was I? I was in, Tennessee this morning for a speech for the Urban League of Chattanooga. And then yesterday I was in Atlanta, Georgia. This is what happens with my tour. I'm passing myself in airports. Hey Derek, just letting you guys sign on. Hey Wallace, hey Deshaun from Austin, Texas. I was just there last week with a bunch of CEOs. Z Soroya. Hey Rodney. So I got 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I get to my speech. Missed you in Texas, friends. Well, it was not a public speech, friends. So I'll come back for a public speech in Texas soon. Hey O'Neill, where you coming to Wichita? It's not on my list yet, but I'm going to put it on my list. Wallace. Nashville, yes, definitely my list. Nashville. Christopher, Augusta, Georgia, yes, I'll be coming to Augusta with this tour. Hey, Michelle, Michael Felder. Is a book out? Yes, the Memo's out as a bestseller. It's the #1 bestseller for budgeting and finance as a new release on Amazon. What are you guys waiting for? Go buy the book. Buy the book. Yes, it's out. Hey, Jeff from New York City. If you haven't bought the book, buy the book. Help us get on the New York Times bestseller list. Help us rise up a new consciousness. If you haven't bought the book, buy the book. Tell your friends to get the book. Hey, Dwayne, love that dude. I see Oklahoma City's in the house. Rodney. Okay, let me get to this message. I don't run out of time. I'm in Washington, D.C. We just announced today that the Memo, Delivering the Memo Masterclass book tour. The book tour is announced today, 2017. Follow it at the Memo. On page on Facebook, or follow my JohnHopeBryant.com. I'm sorry, my John Hope Bryant Facebook page, John Hope Bryant live page. Will be in multiple cities every week, coming to a city near you with the Memo Masterclass. And I'm going to be reading from the book. Orlando, yes, Sergio, coming to Orlando. I'll be reading from the book also on Instagram, little tidbits, little quotes, and then a lot of content here at Facebook Live, reading from the book, taking small sections, and then drilling down deep into it. So let me get to this one issue before I run out of time today. I was walking in a store this weekend wearing casual clothes, and a guy says to me, "Are you a CEO?" Just out of the blue. And I said, "Where'd you get that from? Do you know the work I do?" He said, "No, I don't know the work you do. You just walk like a CEO. You walk like an entrepreneur. I know CEOs of big companies. You walk like one." Now, that's crazy. Like what? And he wasn't saying like you're cocky or any of that kind of stuff. I asked him. He says there's a confidence, there's a cadence. You walk like a CEO. And I start thinking about that and how it relates to the Memo, right? And I told these young brothers in Chattanooga this morning or last night at a reception, I can't guarantee you that what I'm going to teach you, teaching you to be positive, I can't guarantee you that being positive will make you a success. But I absolutely guarantee you that if you're negative, you'll fail. Hey, Smith, lovely. Did you get that? I took the leap of faith, Chris says, and did what? Operating my business full time. So Chris, good one. That's good to hear. I just hope that you got some backup plan for yourself. Never give up your old shoes. You get some new ones and make sure they fit, right? So you want to make sure that you don't jump out there without having an insurance plan, a backup plan. If you're working someplace and they're happy with your job, let them pay you to let your 9 to 5 finance your 5 to 9. Let your 9 to 5 work finance your 5 to 9 dream. Let them pay your health insurance. Let them pay your salary. So just put in that research time while you're doing that job. So that when you finally do leave that job and start your own business, that you have a maximum opportunity to win and succeed. Don't just jump out there on emotions. Don't do anything on emotions. Don't do anything on emotions. Whatever you do emotionally, I guarantee you in business will be wrong. In fact, emotionally, you can love somebody, but you need to verify after you love them that it's a good fit logically and that you guys get along with each other. So even love requires more than love at some point, more than romantic love at some point. Let's get back to this point before I run out of time. It's like the CEO dinner here at Gallup headquarters in Washington, D.C. So I told these young brothers, and repeat, and you need to write this down, tell every young person you know, I cannot guarantee you that what I'm telling you and what's in the book, The Memo, now bestseller, I cannot guarantee you that being positive is going to, and applying my principles will guarantee you success. That's not the way the world works. The world is screwed up, right? There's crap that happens to you every day. But one thing I absolutely guarantee you is if you're negative, you will absolutely fail. So all these folks who hit my page with all this negative energy, talking about this, with John, this, whatever, you're going to fail. Because you've become an expert in what you're against and not what you're for. It has nothing to do with me. Like, you don't even know me, right? So you can't be mad at me because you don't know me. If the reality is you're not happy with yourself. If I don't like me, I'm not going to like you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. Yolanda Frazier, yeah, bestseller, Yolanda, exactly. So thanks for all your advocacy. Tell all your friends to get a copy of The Memo. People are picking up 2 or 3 copies now, giving them to friends, which is fantastic. Every time I go to a book signing, I'm signing 2 or 3 books per person once they read it. If I don't love me, I'm not going to love you. If I don't feel good about me, I'm not going to feel good about you. And if I don't have a purpose in my life, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Angela says, say that. Whatever goes around, comes around. You guys got that? So I cannot guarantee you that a positive attitude will help change your life. I'm sorry, it will change your life. I cannot, yes, right, Angela, hurt people. I cannot, Rodney says, it must read The Memo. I cannot guarantee you Christmas gift, The Memo. Sergio, exactly. Buy it for your folks and give it as Christmas gifts. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Somebody said it's 20 bucks as $1 million investment in your brain. So I can't guarantee that being positive will change your life. I'm sorry, it will change your life. That will guarantee you success. But I absolutely guarantee you, unquestionably, deniably guarantee you that being negative will ruin your life. Being negative will guarantee you failure. Nobody wants to be around a negative person. Vic, you want to be around negative people?
Absolutely not.
You're allergic to negative people?
Yep.
Absolutely allergic. We're allergic to negative people. All right. I have that button on my desk. So let me tell you the real difference between rich people and poor people. I'm sorry, wealth and poverty. It's an attitude. It's an attitude. So you said, well, John, come on now. I don't have roof over my head. I don't have food on the table. I don't have, okay, that's sustenance poverty. We're getting it twisted. Sustenance poverty is a roof over your head, reasonable health care, food on the table. It is basics, okay? So everybody deserves, this is Global Dignity Day. Everybody deserves dignity, the basics to live. I'm assuming that if you're listening to me and you're watching on a smartphone, that you're not hurting for a meal. Otherwise, you should sell the smartphone and go get a meal, all right? So if you're watching me, I'm assuming that you're somewhere above sustenance, basic survival. I'm assuming that. Now, every other form of poverty above that is about your mentality. As I put in the book, The Memo, right up front, my first chapter in the book, you are capital, is what I'm saying. Human capital. And the word capital comes from the Latin root word capitas, or knowledge in the head. Write that down. The word capital comes from the Latin root word capitas, knowledge in the head, not money in your pocket. All currency is a form of distributing value. Did you get that? All U.S. currency is, or Chinese currency, or British currency, the pound sterling, the European, the euro, all this currency, the currency in the Middle East, the rand in South Africa. This is just simply a paper or other version of transferring value. That's all it is. So real currency is something different. It's knowledge in the head. And the thing that separates wealth from poverty is your mentality. It is your thought process. And that's what I'm trying to upgrade with The Memo. To change your thought process, or as I always used to say early in Operation Hope's success or work, there's a difference between being broke and being poor. Being broke is economic, but being poor is a disabling frame of mind. O'Neill says your mentality drives your actions. Exactly. Is a disabling frame of mind, a depressed condition of your spirit, and you must vow never to be poor again. Let me give you an example I put in the memo. Somebody here is doubting what I'm saying. I don't see a bunch of thumbs ups here, so I think you're doubting what I'm saying. Okay, that's fine. Here, try this on for size. You say, well, no, John, we need charity. We need people to give us something. Okay, hold on. If I give a homeless man $1 million, he'll be broke in 6 months. Because nothing changed here. Nothing changed here, which means nothing's going to change here. And it means his pockets are going to empty. I'm not calling a homeless man a fool, by the way. I'm saying the Bible suggests a fool and his money are soon parted. Okay, you guys got that. Okay, great. So there's a difference between sympathy and empathy. I empathize for the homeless man. I was homeless. I just gave a homeless lady $20 a couple days ago. And if I had more time, I'd try to get her into a shelter, right? So I have enormous compassion for those who can't do for themselves. That's not what I'm saying. That the best thing you can do for somebody is to help them help themselves. Teach them how to fish. Don't just give them a fish. Don't pat them on the head and say, oh, you poor victim. You say you're a victor, not a victim. And yes, crap will happen to you. But you got to get the mentality of over, around, and through it. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to repeat this. Okay, you guys are getting this. Charles says, tell the truth. I can give a homeless man, I'm going to repeat this, $1 million. And he'll be broke in 6 months. Okay, so now I feel better about myself because I've done this wonderful thing that's charitable, but I actually didn't do anything that's empowering. I really didn't help him help himself. Rule number 2, somebody just said, I guess from the memo, Ron Joseph. That's right. It's your mindset. Your mindset makes or loses you money. That's exactly right. Rule number 2 in the book. It is your mindset. Tamara Davidson says, teach. What percentage would you say of folks who win the lottery are doing well 5 years later? I'm gonna repeat that. I'm gonna flip that and make it even better / worse. Somebody's my Compton brother. Who's that? Samaj Walker. That's right, Compton in the house. What percentage would you say are bankrupt 5 years after getting the lottery? Let me help you out here. 70%. 70% of those winning the lottery of all races, places, rural and urban, black, brown, white, doesn't matter, bankrupt 5 years because they never got the memo. Because they thought that somebody giving you money was the same as having it. It's not true. A fool and his money are soon separated. That's why 70% of NFL players bankrupt 5 years after retirement. That's why 84% of NBA players bankrupt 5 years after retirement. And it goes on and on and on. Don't get me arrested, Vic. I gotta get to this dinner. They pull a black man over, it's over. Right? So I'm in the passenger seat. They still say I stole the car. I'm just kidding. So it's a mentality. And so let me give you somebody said 10% is bankrupt. Let me see, who's that? Sergio said 10% of folks are bankrupt. No, 70% of those who win the lottery bankrupt 5 years after they win the money. All right, so let me break poverty down for you first, and I got to go to this dinner here in a minute. Here's poverty, and it's the Hope Doctrine of Poverty. You can download it on the internet and put it on your wall. JP is laughing. Hey, JP. Poverty. Here's poverty. It's a graph you put on your wall. It's free. Half of poverty is low self-esteem and lack of confidence in yourself. And yes, the book's on Audible. Somebody just asked the book on Audible. Yeah, I read the book myself, by the way. The memo, it's on Audible. Tell all your friends, get a copy of the book. Half of all success, of poverty is low self-esteem and lack of confidence in yourself. If I don't know who I am by 9 in the morning, by dinner time, somebody's going to tell me who I am. So if you're black in America, I'll explain you black poverty, which is the worst kind of poverty. When mainstream America has a headache, black folks have pneumonia, but we're all sick. So if you deal with 350 years of slavery and 100 years of Jim Crow ending in 1970, not 18. Okay, man, you see us trying to get around you? Ain't going, boss. Folks driving like they're in New York.
He gave me a head nod.
He gave you a head nod and still try to run you over. And you're dealing with 1970, not 1870, where you have 400 years of slavery and Jim Crow, where you've been told you ain't shit for 400 years. After a while, you have generations who believe it. Low self-esteem. I think 80% of black America are clinically undiagnosed depressed. And if I love you too, by the way. Thank you. That's Robin. And if you're white and watching this, and you went through half of that drama, and half the time you'd be crazy too. Okay? Because it's not about a race. Hey, Janae's like, I see you on Facebook Live. It's not about a race. This is about a place. It's about where you are in your life. It doesn't matter. This is just common sense. And so here's the second part of poverty. crappy role models in a crappy environment. If all I see in symbols of success in my neighborhood are rap stars, athletes, and drug dealers, then why is anybody surprised that I grew up wanting to be a rap star, an athlete, or a drug dealer? It's not that I'm a bad person, it's common sense. I'm modeling what I see, right? So I asked some people in the meeting this morning. I walked up to this white guy and said, who's wearing a suit, I bet you saw a white man with a suit growing up and you decided to be a businessman. He said, yes. I'm sorry, not a white man. I thought you saw a man with a suit growing up. You decided you're going to be a businessman. He said, yes. I walked up to a lady and said, I happen to be Caucasian. I bet you saw a lady with a suit on growing up, a business suit on, and said you can do that. You can become a business person. She said, yes, that's true. I walked up to a black woman and said, I bet you saw a woman with a suit on. Hey, Janae Roscoe, getting you in this picture. It's Janae.
Hey, everyone.
I said, I bet that you saw a woman growing up in a business suit and decided you can do that. Turn down the volume, Janae. She got me on her own deal. And I bet you can do that. She said yes, right? And I didn't know these people. This is just common sense, right? It's common sense. Here's the third part of the poverty equation. Environment. You heard me say this before. If you hang around 9 broke people, you'll be the 10th, right? And then you have aspiration. Aspiration is a code word for hope. The most dangerous person in the world is a person with no hope. And then you have hope. You have opportunity. So, but if you have low self-esteem and low confidence, crappy role models, and a crappy environment, you have no hope. You see a glass of life as half empty, not half full. You get that? So now you sit on your front porch, you don't move. That's poverty. So people say, oh, we have gentrification in our neighborhoods. Yeah, it may be gentrification, but it's really capitalism. And here's wealth. And there's now the wealth doctrine the hope doctrine on wealth that just went up on the internet. You can download that one too. It's also in my book, The Memo, and I got to go to this dinner. Here's wealth: high self-esteem and high confidence. You have the luck of the gene pool. You were born into a family like my mother and my dad who told me they loved me. Why am I a businessman? My daddy was. Why do I love myself? My mother told me to. I'm not a rocket scientist. I'm role modeling. All right. Then you have good role models and good environment. You have then high aspirations, high hope. Guess what? You see opportunity everywhere. Now that same person walks in your neighborhood, sees that shack that you've been looking at for your family looking at for 40 years, and they say, I'm going to buy that thing for $20,000. I'm going to put $40,000 into it. I'm going to upgrade it with my family, going to Home Depot on weekend and fix it up. I'm going to buy it, rehab it, and rent it. And going to rent it to you, living in your own neighborhood. Now, don't get upset with that person for having an opportunity that you walk past. Don't get upset with that white person or Asian person or Latino person or black person who took something that you could have done. The Klan's not running in your neighborhood on a white horse with a hood on, run you out your neighborhood with a pitchfork and a torch. They're people walking in your neighborhood, good people maybe, and buying it as a tax default sale at the courthouse, buying it right from under you and creating value, and then we call that, I don't know, something bad. I just call it capitalism. You say you hate rich people. No, you don't. You hate rich people till you become rich. Hey, Logan from YB Normal, I just met him this morning. He's doing great work. You hate rich people till you become rich, okay? So stop hating on people who got the memo and you didn't. Just go get the memo. This is your lesson for the day. This is the master class. I'm at Gallup. This place is gorgeous. Look at this place. This is from 18 something. Look at this beautiful headquarters here. This place is gorgeous, and I'm here to get a free dinner from my friend Jim Clifton and meet with all these CEOs, see if I can get them some money and some resources for Operation Hope to help yourself. I'm out. I'll answer questions later. Love you much. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think about this. Get the copy of the memo. Come on now. Don't come on my page and don't have the copy of the memo. We're going to be talking about this. It's a term paper. It's a workshop. Open the book so we can get to work. We can get busy with the lessons. I'm out. Love you much.